No joking today. Hey, we are live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Designer Show. What is this, show number 110 that we're on? And want to welcome Renee and Robin are here today. Kevin's not going to join us today, and I have not heard from John. So,
yeah, where's John?
Yeah, I don't know. He's usually always here. It could be he's on the road somewhere and hasn't found a internet connection, but he'll probably join us eventually. But anyway, welcome everyone. And today we're going to hit the topic of some of the things we learned in Coeur d'Alene when we were there last week for the chief architect training event that they do every year. So it was, we had a great time. I tell you, it was, as usual, good time. Weather kind of sucked, but the last day was gorgeous. So we did manage to get a bike ride in. That was pretty cool. See a few people are logging in. Hey Ethan, Doug, Barry.
Yeah, we saw Ethan in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, Ethan,
Hey,
the
hi,
champion,
Vanetta.
the champion. Way to go,
Oh,
Ethan!
that's right. He beat me.
He beat all of us.
Ethan was wonderful, and thank you for the set of plans, Ethan. I appreciate it. And hi, Vanetta.
Good morning.
Welcome
from Arizona. We got Paul.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny. How are you? We got Richard
Hey,
on.
Richard. How are you? Gosh.
More. Well, he's.
Hi, Nikki. She's from my hometown. She's
Craig
from here.
Meyer. Hey, Craig. How are you? Here we got Chad, Scott.
Hey, Chad.
Mr. Mustache is there.
All right, yeah.
Ethan.
All right, you guys, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us on show today. So I've got a list of things. Renee, I never heard from you. So what is your list? I hope you got a good list of things.
Oh man, of things I learned.
Yeah.
I don't understand them.
Now that's shocking.
You don't
that is shocking.
And yeah.
You don't understand what you learned?
No, I wrote down things and they seem very complex and I don't know what they are.
It makes perfect sense at the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So could you switch to this full screen, Renee? And I want to show a few pictures real quick. Got to do the slideshow, right? So,
yes.
So you on so you see in the picture?
There we are.
Okay, there we are. Let me just run through these real quick, just so you guys get a sense. Here we are in downtown Coeur d'Alene. Everybody's arrived. We stopped and had lunch before we checked into our house.
That picture looks familiar because it looks exactly like the one from the previous year.
It pretty much, although the year before we had a bunch more people. So we had a nice little lunch there. Here we are. Get back to the house, and of course, everybody's digging in, chatting, taking care of business, which is what we do at the house. First night out, go to have dinner. This is going to be a common theme. We have a lot of dinners together. So we're at a seafood restaurant here, not too far from where the event center is. Really, really good food. That was really nice. And here is a coffee shop that we went to each morning to have a nice little coffee. Here we are in the day one training with Dermot. Dermot is the head developer there, chief architect. So when we want to have deep discussions with him about what's going on with chief.
That was really nice having Dermot lead that class.
I just enjoy him and Brian too. They're both really good, but Dermot, because he knows everything that's going on there, he's the guy. Here's our class. So it was a full room and a lot of great people there. So a lot of familiar faces that we see there every year, which is really cool. Here we are after the first day. They always throw a little gathering at La Peep. It's real close to the Croc Center, and they put on a nice little spread that you can fill up on that stuff pretty easily. This year it was mostly indoors because it was cloudy and rainy outside. Yeah. And here we are at the table. Everybody's having a good time. There's Ethan and everybody there. So nice little place. I understand it's a breakfast place. I didn't know that. It can't be. No, it's got to be a full time. Maybe I heard wrong. Here we are back at the house doing what we do, chatting about chief architect. And here on the second morning, the morning of the second day, we always do a hike around Tubbs. I think it's called Tubbs Hill or Tubbs Trail or something like that. It's a little trail around the lake that really, really nice. And I think we all pretty much made that one. That was really fun.
It was lovely.
Every year. There we are. And there's Lake Coeur d'Alene there.
Jean-Luc,
from Canada, our Canadian guy. Here we are at lunch on the second day, and this guy right here.
The lunches were great, weren't they?
Oh, they were, yeah.
They were so good.
We will put that one on our replies to Chief. They need to
Yes.
do something a little different for their lunches.
I wasn't
Anyway,
going to say anything. I wasn't sure you were being sarcastic or not.
Oh no, sarcasm, total sarcasm.
yeah, totally. They were not good.
My mom always said you had to have one bad thing go off to have the greatest event ever. So,
well, that was it.
there you
And
go.
they had
So-
two, so there you go.
Anyway, I don't know if any of you have met Al Fry. He's been with Chief since, actually, Chief helped invent the software. When
Yeah.
Jack Simpson invented the software, Al Fry was there to help coach him along and get him going in the right direction. So Al does have a little bit to say about this software. Here we are on the boat going to the event center after the second day. Here's this little house right here, the little white house, which is really a big house when you're up right next to it. That little dormer right there, that's where Chief Architect, the software, was invented and programmed for the first 3 versions. So it's right
Oh,
on.
really?
Yep, right
How'd
on
you
Lake
find that
Coeur.
out?
Oh, I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went there at version 2, not X2, version 2. So that was a long time ago. I got to spend some time with Jack Simpson, the developer, and his family, and they're not there anymore. They moved from that house a long time ago, and Jack, I believe, spends most of his time doing what do you call that when you go to countries and you help with the water and the school and all that kind of stuff. But he does a lot of that.
Oh, wow.
He does. That's
That's
what he
good.
spends full time on doing. So he's always done that, and Chief has been his vehicle for him to do even more. So really cool. Anyway, this is the event center where we go after the second day. They throw a nice party there, and we have a great time. Give us a boat ride over on Lake Coeur d'Alene, beautiful lake.
Which was really lovely.
Yes, here we are at the contest. We're all drawing crazy little things that they had us do. This would have been, this was, I don't remember which round. This couldn't have been round 2 because I'm taking the picture. So this must have been round 1. Or maybe it was round 3. I don't remember.
It was brutal.
It was 3 rounds. It's really a nerve-wracking challenge because you got 10 minutes to draw this thing that they put together, and they do all these goofy things. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. And there you guys are, and have it hard at it. And this picture I took on the boat on the way back from the event center that night. Turns out there's Greg Wells. He's the CEO of Chief Architect.
That's his wife, isn't it?
It's his wife, Mary, and that's a full moon.
Nice.
And this is their 38th wedding anniversary. So I sent those pictures to him, and it was pretty special to sit there. I talked to him the whole way back, and it was really nice to catch up with him a little bit. So good people. He and Scott have done a nice job of building Chief Architect. This is the Chief Architect crew. There's 75 people there, 76 counting Greg. I don't know if that's everybody. I've heard there's about 100 people there, but
Yeah, I thought there was more. Yeah.
I counted 76, 75 in that photo.
I think they said at one point that there was 125 people who work for the company total.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because they've got a lot of cubicles in their office. And here we go. So, all right, here's what you're going to get for coming. I'm going to share a couple things. They never said They never said we couldn't. They never said we couldn't share some information this time. So we're going to share a couple of little things. They're going to do a tool.
But all of these, let's make this comment. He was really clear to say not every single one of these are going to be an X16.
Maybe.
He said that these are the things that they're working on.
They always say that though. But
okay.
If it's on this list, it'll be in there. From my experience, tool search, you're going to be able to have a search box to find tools because there's 1,300 icons now. And sometimes you don't know where they are, so you'll be able to search for things. Auto numbering for construction lines, convert text to notes, which is not a big deal. Find a plan by layer. Find a plan by layer. I don't even know what
that's a big one for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Find in plan.
Because I've been developing my templates forever, and occasionally something sneaks in on some layer and it shows used, and I can't find what the heck it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll take me hours to find it out. In fact, I just did it, so that would have saved me a ton of time.
Oh, cool. I'm not showing all the slides I took, but this is kind of a cool one. 3D dimensioning. So you'll be able to dimension anything in 3D view. That's pretty cool.
Curious if we get that in X16 or not.
Oh, it looks pretty solid. I would think we probably will.
Because that'll give us, orthographic graphic details.
Yeah. So Kevin spent a lot of time with the person developing this in the software, and I think they exchanged some good comments. So that'll be cool. This will be a big one for some people. Chad might like this. I just noticed Chad commenting on Facebook about sharing files within the office. They're putting together cloud sharing. So you'll be able to share files back and forth with people through their service. It looked pretty promising. I thought they talked about this for 15.
They did. This has
Yeah.
been in development for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And we still don't know if we're going to get this one in X16.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Since I work alone, I don't share a ton of files. However, working with my clients, I think it's going to make sharing files really easy. So because you can share it and then unshare it. So you have a lot more control over it.
Right.
Plus all of your libraries, all of your preferences, all the things that you set up your computer with. If you have multiple computers, now they'll all share the same settings. You won't have to set up each computer separately. So that's a pretty big deal. I think that'll be really nice.
Nikki
And you
Kelly
can
was
lock-
asking, will this cloud have a cleaner storage for library files so they can be shared in real time? That was the one thing they did not have set up in testing.
Yeah,
but when we went, Dan, when we went to Chief on our bike ride, I asked that, and he said that you will be able to share your library. He said you will be able to share it. So that is, I don't know about in real time, Nikki. I didn't ask that question.
Yeah. Well, user library, we can share that now. That's pretty easy to do. You have to have a Dropbox thing.
It's not synced.
No.
And it will overwrite when two people are using it at the same time.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully.
And the plans, you can lock people out of a plan. So you can open up a plan and nobody else can open it. So you can lock it so that way you're the only one working on it and making changes.
Right.
And that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was pretty promising. He showed us some pretty cool things with it. I don't have slides for any of that stuff. So what's his name again? What's his name again?
Jason Troy.
Jason, he is the greatest presenter. I love the way he presents this stuff.
Yeah.
He is really cool. All right, that's all I'm going to share on that new stuff. There was
there's John Luca.
Not a huge list, but there was a good list. There was a lot of nice things that they showed us. So they're pretty good at that. Robin, you did not have food in your mouth. That was the best one I could find. This is our lunch. This is our lunch.
You've got such great pictures of me. I appreciate it, John.
Anytime.
Really appreciate it.
Dan has a great habit of going, okay, smile, everybody, and you're in the middle of a bike.
Yeah, you like this.
Yeah, we like to keep it interesting.
Thank you.
And here's our bike ride in the afternoon. So
now that was fun, and that's not a bad picture. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, so we got to ride the trails. Coeur d'Alene's very bike friendly, so it's a real place.
Next year, I'm driving and bringing my own bike.
There you go. So we did manage to stop at the chief headquarters, and we walked around and said hi to a whole bunch of people. There weren't many people there on Friday afternoon at 4:00, but we did manage to catch some of them. And Nigel was there. Nigel, I didn't recognize him with his beard now, but it was fun to stop in, and we chatted with them quite a while. So that was really nice. So Nigel, these guys are in the support department. So when you are getting support, this is the place you're in. I didn't take a ton of pictures at their headquarters.
Aaron said, "Was that Kelly?" That is Kelly from Chief.
No, in that image, no, that's Mary and Robin.
This is Kelly.
That's Mary.
Right. This is Kelly right here.
Oh, Kelly, yes.
This guy.
God, Kelly guy, not Kelly girl. Got it.
And of course, another last meal together. So this was the last evening we were there together. We went to a really nice Italian restaurant and had a great meal. That was really a lot of fun. And of course, when we walk out, there's this guy just getting ready to drive away. And what is that, a 69 Mustang? Just gorgeous.
So, yeah.
I mean, really gorgeous car. So that was fun to see. Had to show that. And then our breakfast together. So there we go. That's our trip from Coeur d'Alene. And now we should probably get into talking a little bit about what we learned there. Okay.
Here, Ethan says that the user catalog will be shareable in the cloud. Plan files are still single user, and you can only show one user catalog at a time in the browser.
Okay. So he must have dug in a little bit more.
Pin one other person's comment up here. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah,
someone said that they hope that next year that they could be in the advanced 2 class.
It was the one right up at the top. It was Voorhees design. Yeah.
I'll say one thing about this. It's kind of no longer a class when you get into the advanced 2. It's kind of like a powwow.
It's more like a brainstorming session.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we
It's-
yeah, I think it's a really good brainstorming session, and we learn a lot about what they're doing. They learn about what we want and how we're using the software. So from that point of view, it was really nice. All right, so let me move on to my list. Get out of this screen here because I shouldn't be showing that. Where am I? What are we seeing now? You want to see my screen, don't you?
a lot.
You've got Chief behind that Chrome browser.
Thank you. All right, here we go. And of course, my list. Here's my list. Okay. I do a good job of taking notes.
Wow, good job taking notes.
Yeah. There were a couple things in here I have to ask you about yet. Let me just run down. I don't know how far I'll get on this list, but I'll go as fast as I can and get through some of these things. One of the first things that hit me after talking to people there, people want to learn how to do better remodeling plans with chief architects. So you will be hearing from us about that, because that's what I was a remodeling contractor for 20 years. That's all I did. And I love doing remodeling plans. They're my most favorite kind of plans to do. I'll do new home plans, but I don't enjoy them like I do remodeling plans. There's just something about remodeling I like, probably because it's my background. I like figuring shit out. So you'll be hearing more about that. Creating a better designer show. Okay, so that's what we're working on. It just hit me as I'm sitting there. This is a good show. We have a lot of fun with it. We share a lot of great information. We'll do some nice things. And we got to do some better commercials. And speaking of commercials, let me stop and talk about the new classes coming up, because we do have some new classes coming up.
I wanted to see you like suddenly holding a toothpaste container and promoting Colgate.
The latest book. Nothing like that. But, sometimes it's the last thing I think about is, what do we got to mention today? Well, the one thing I do have to mention today is we do have some classes coming up here in Minnesota, in Bloomington, in October 23, 24, and 25. We're doing a 3-day course. This is a beginner intermediate level course. This is for people that are just getting into the software or have been using it a while and really haven't had any formal training, so they don't really understand how it works. It's a great class. We have a lot of fun with it. We go through the whole process of building a house. So you go through the process of setting up all sorts of different things, and by the time we're done, you leave with a bit of a layout and understanding how things get added to a layout. So we cover a ton of stuff, but you do learn a lot. We're going to go to an intermediate class, which means you do have to know how to use the software to a certain extent, because we're not going to cover how to draw a roof. We're going to cover how to do other things with roofs and things like that. So you do need to know some things about the software already before you can join it. It's a 2-day class. That'll be in November. And then we're going to do an advanced level training class. I haven't quite figured out exactly what's going to be in this yet. But we'll get there, because there's a lot of advanced things we can talk about. It's going to be a lot of time-saving tips that we're going to cover in this class. And this is a 2-day class, but these two will run concurrently. So you'll be able to take 4 days if you want to. If you want to go intermediate advanced, you could do that if you want. It's going to be in a hotel, Hampton Inn, up at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport. Done it there many times. It's a great little hotel. It's inexpensive to stay there, and the rooms are nice, and the conference room's okay. It's just a nice venue, so it works well. And class size will be limited to about 14, 15 people.
Nice.
So so
Small
it's
class,
just
yeah.
So it's
Really
a nice event.
class.
And then, of course, our 2024 summit, they're still available. I see someone just purchased.
They're filling up, though, right?
It is, yeah. If you were to go hit the learn more, you'd be able to see what's available yet. If you scroll down the page, you'll see all the rooms that we still have available.
Wow.
I heard Richard Fouquet booked something.
He did. In fact,
Fabulous.
I need to mark this off because he just took this last one in the bunk room. So, Richard, looking forward to having you there. But yeah, there's still some other rooms available. This house, the second house we have, there's availability there too, and that's 300 feet away from the front door of the house we're having the summit in. So this is actually a really nice house. So check it out. If you have questions, feel free to call any of us. We'd love to have you there. It's going to be it's going to be a cool event. I've got a lot of things planned for this that I didn't have last year. So looking forward to it.
Anything you want solved, bring a list. We'll handle it.
We'll get it done. We will get it done. So anyway, there's our commercials for today. Thank you. And you guys be sure to check out Renee's website, rabbitdesign.com. .net. Sorry, rabbitdesign.net. Check his store. He's got great templates, great stuff. Go buy it. He's got good shit. So, I probably should stop using that word, but it's true. It's good stuff. I know.
Anyway. Give a swear jar for you.
Yeah, start filling it up. Well, I watched Ted Lasso, so I got kind of hooked on.
Nice.
They say the F word a lot in that show. All right, so
Here's a question: any chance the advanced class can also be Zoom?
I don't know. That's a good question. Huh? I don't know. I'll have to think. Let me think about that. I'd have to hire a camera crew and stuff to do that. Maybe could have some fun with that.
Some Zoom-based classes.
Yeah. I got to figure out what I'm going to teach on it first, but it'll be good. I know that. That's one
thing about. Do a separate one that's just, an advanced class. Yeah. That would probably be easier, Dan, because then you can do it just out of your house.
Yeah, I'll see how it comes together. Automatic function in Chief. One of the things that hit me too is they talked about that auto function in Chief, the auto roofs, auto floor and ceiling, auto wall generated decks and framing stairs, all that kind of stuff. That is, Chief does all these things automatically, and it seems so cool, but at the same time, it can drive you absolutely freaking nuts. So I'm not going to get into this. I wrote this down so I could think about this, and I want to talk more with you guys about this. Like the automatic roofs, there's still a lot of people that don't think the auto roof tools do much, but the automatic roof tools have improved drastically in the last few releases. And so, you can get a lot further with the auto roofs than you ever used to. And they just keep adding more and more. So
I didn't ever use them until I kept seeing a user on Chief Talk solving everybody's roof problems with auto build faster than you could possibly imagine. So
I have a ton of techniques to use with auto build. So that'd be the kind of thing we'll cover in the like the intermediate class. We'll get into more of those things. The roof system in Chief has really, really come a long way. Coordinate system in Chief, doing coordinates better. This is not a big deal. But a lot of the things on my list are not a big deal, but cumulative. They kind of add up to lots of cool little things. So you've got your little coordinate dealy bop down here now. I think that's a technical term.
That's a good technical term. Like
XY. So under preferences, there's some settings. Let me just turn them all on so you can see what it looks like. They have a coordinate system tab here now. And if you turn all these things on, I'll just do it. I would not use them all on, and I'm going to expand this to 100 inches, and we'll leave the labels at 12. Okay, so I've just did coordinate system, and when you look at this now, you can see I just made this taller. The lines here taller, but now I turned it on so you could see where X and Y is all the time. All right, and here's one of the other things.
Zero.
And one of the other things, that's 0. That's the 0 coordinate in Chief Architect's coordinate system, which when you start a model, you want to start close to that because that keeps the numbers that Chief has to multiply all the time smaller, which makes your plan a little faster. But what's kind of cool is, go ahead.
And out of the box, I asked this in the class, out of the box, that 0 is in the bottom left of the drawing sheet, which I thought's kind of funny.
This is 0.
Yeah.
No. That's not
right. Out of the box templates, the 0.
Out of the box.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, theirs. Yeah. Not mine. I set mine 0.
Yeah, I set mine the same as you.
So
0 is in the middle of my model.
Here's the 0 in this one. But you could set this up so that, see, I made this a little bigger so you could see it a little better in the 3D views, so you can see which way X and Y is.
Yeah.
You can also have it turned on so when you're looking at a view like this, you could know which X and Y is.
Yeah.
I like this because Chief's a CAD software. We need to learn X, Y, Z to really function faster in this CAD software. This is cool. So run with this for a while and you get used to the X, Y, Z stuff. Then you can turn it off. You can also have that in your elevations, which is pretty cool. So now let me get back.
So Mike asks, is it better to have the center at 0 or bottom left I prefer it at center.
I do too.
Works with the way I think better. And also, I happen to know that some features work at when you're drawing at 0, 0 that don't otherwise.
Oh, sure. I think it's just a
Really?
good rule of thumb to, keep your plan centered at 0, 0, rather than have the bottom left corner of 0, 0. Is it going to make, make or break anything? Probably not, but it's just a good rule of thumb. Do you even need to know that it's there? Not really, to draw with Chief. That's one of the cool things about Chief. But here again, I turned on these coordinates and so I can see which way is X. So if I wanted to move that window to the right now in X just by opening its dialog and say move that window 2 feet to the right, I could do that a lot easier because I know exactly which way X is. And I know that minus X would be this way. So if I wanted to move it back that way, I'd type in minus 2 feet. So that's kind of handy when you're just getting used to this kind of stuff. So that's a little thing about the coordinate system. I'll just set it back to the way it comes out of the box and go from there. I just wanted to show that. I thought that was, there's a lot of things in preference. As I'm going through this list, I'm looking at all these things in preferences. Man, they've added a lot of stuff in preferences. Kind of interesting. All right, back to my list. Dimensioning windows to the inside of frame. To me, this was a big deal because I do a lot of as-builts. And it would be much easier to dimension my as-builts to the inside of frame instead of guessing where the outside of frame is. So what it means is inside of frame. See how I can dimension it here?
Before you go on, let's talk about this a little bit. Here,
John, you're breaking up really bad.
talk about this.
Is that John?
Yes.
Yeah, you must have a
He's breaking up.
weak connection, John. Sorry.
And you have to set that in defaults, in your window defaults. It's not in
Well,
preferences,
no,
right?
you could do both. You
Okay.
could set up individual windows like I've done here. You do it both in the same place. So if you want to just do some individual windows, go to the frame of the window and set it here, right here. Okay. Turn this on. Excludes frame. So they couldn't have said window dimensions to the inside of frame or something like that. To me, it's like, I want a frame on my window. I don't want to include but no, that means dimensioning it to the inside of the frame, not the outside of the frame.
That's really good.
And,
it's very helpful for as-builts.
So that's a per window thing. If you want to set it up for all of the windows to do that, double click on the window icon, go to frame and set it here. Now all of your windows will dimension to the inside of the frame. Okay.
Now,
do that while you're measuring the house. Turn it off when you're done.
See, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't understand why they put it there. It makes more sense that it just was in dimensions, because you have side, center, casings. Why didn't they just have inside a frame in dimensions?
That would be kind of nice under
because
openings.
Then you could turn it on and off when you want it.
Yeah.
Instead of being global or specific, right?
So I'm not sure if we brought that up or not, but it would be nice to have that option just under openings.
That's where it should be.
Yeah, inside frame.
Right.
So, but at least we can do it now.
Yeah, no, it's great.
We couldn't do it before. And let me just, for those of you that might be new to Chief's dimensioning, let me just show something to you real quick. So let's say I want to dimension that window. So what you could do is, you start by putting your first dimension in. Of course, I don't have that set up, so I have to go like that. Okay, so I'm going to get my first dimension in. It's going to go to inside of frame. And, so you're measuring that window. So you move this to where you want it to be, 6 feet. Okay. Now I need to get the width in. So you don't have to open the window to type the width in. Just click on the window, click on the point here. See how that highlights now? Okay, because I highlight the window and then I click on the edge I want to move. And now I'm going to click on this number. Now I could say I want that to be 48 inches. See how I can move that over without even opening the dialog for the window. So it makes it really easy to do.
And nice to point out that you can see which selected edge handle there is there because Dan has his colors in preferences.
Yes, that's
that blue
preference setting. So under colors, I make my handle fills red. I make my selected edges blue. So it's just a nice way. I don't like green. Chief sets it up with these light gray things. Even the fill style is light gray. It's just really hard to see what you're selecting. So I'm not really a big fan of that. How we doing? Oh, we're still got a half hour here. Cool. Design and client information.
Hold on. Aaron's asking, Dims to frames could be changed just for certain views via annotations, right? I don't believe that's correct.
The what
No.
now?
Dimensions to frame could be changed for certain views via annotations. I don't think that's correct because it's
Yes,
No.
held
what
in the
you're
settings of the window itself.
That has
Right.
to
driven.
directly to do with the windows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, John, by the way, how you doing? Where are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Can you hear me
John.
better now?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What'd you do?
Yeah, I was having I just put on my headset.
Oh, okay.
I was having so much fun teaching. I forgot we had to be in class today or in the show today.
Cool. Well, that's a good excuse. Okay, we'll let that one
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
I know, and Kevin has a client coming in that wants to do a 1.5 million house, so he used to meet with them. And okay, yeah, we let that one go too. We get it. Take your business. All right, client design and client info. I was playing with this one a little bit in Chief. You'll notice in the preferences you have under, oh hell, where did the hell that go again? It was under, for Pete's sake, I knew I'd forget this. It was under new plans. No.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So this is new in X15. This designer client info,
Mm-hmm.
and you can define it. So if you define
God.
it here, under preferences, every time you open a new plan, whatever you put here is going to be in that new plan. Okay. So if I go define, and I filled in on my client, my contractor information, that's fine, because you want that in every one of your plans.
Right.
Unless you do it differently. But for client information, I was just typing that in there.
You don't want that in your preferences.
You don't necessarily want that in your preferences.
No.
So it's like, well, why did they put that there? I'm not sure.
That was a strange one to me, is that
Yeah,
they don't.
It's kind of silly to put it there.
If you draw for the same person every time, I can see that. But what you could do is
put it in your
you do
template
get to
and save it
division it.
there.
You get to division it there. Copy designer information. Copy.
Yeah, exactly. So you could play with this and see how that works for you. What I've done in my template is I've gone to tools. I'm going to designer client information, and I put my information here. And this will auto-populate on my layout pages. And then when I'm on my layout pages, I'll do the client information, and that'll auto-populate my client information on my pages. And if I were to change page sizes, it would auto-populate that stuff automatically too. So do you have to use this? No, but it can be handy. So
it's so nice.
Yeah, and we did spend some time talking with them about giving us some more custom fields that we could put in here and let us rearrange them. So so we'll see what they come up with. Those
push pretty
what
hard.
Did they
for
say?
that.
What did they say about that? Because that is something we need to do.
They said it might be easy, and then they said we don't like it when we say it might be easy.
Yeah, well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
So when you use those fields, okay, so you're using macros. So here I've typed some text and I've used 3 macros: my designer name, company name, phone number. So you could have a block anywhere in your plan or on your layout that would automatically populate using that tool's client contractor client information. So the way you add a macro is you just click the macro button in the text box, contact info. There's the client designer stuff, and here's everything on that list. So if I wanted to have my street address show up there, I click OK, and because I have that filled in, or I don't have it filled in.
I want to address this comment from Mike and just point out something. He says, I have my logo on the layout, so I don't use this feature, which is the designer information. This is a way to store macro values and call them up very easily. So if you've never written a macro before, this is a really rudimentary and simple way to get a text macro that you could use everywhere. It doesn't matter that it says it's the designer name. You could use designer name on your plans for APN or, any number of information that you always want to store for every plan and draw up. Yeah. So just something to keep in mind. That's a really simple implementation.
Yeah, Renee's heavy into macros, so he's got some pretty complicated macros that he's developed to do different things for his project. But in this sense, it's very simple. So even guys like me can figure this one out. So,
hey, Kevin.
Oh, look, Kevin showed up.
Hey, Kevin.
How is everybody? What did I miss?
Everything.
Everything.
Ah,
There's a test, Kevin. There's a test at the end. Just
Kevin, you want to answer this question here?
yes.
Which one are we on?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
Do you
One
hand
on the
type
screen.
your macro fields or use the pull down to select them? Every time I hand type, they fail. I just have to make sure that you're typing in the syntax correctly, or they will not fire. So when we're calling a macro, our values need to be in between percentage signs, and that macro needs to be just proper sentence case and everything.
For the ones Dan was talking about for the filling in the fields and stuff, you just select them from the pull down.
yeah.
Yeah, those are already in the system.
It's amazing how many are already in the system. I
There's a
mean,
bunch.
and then you call people like Renee to get special ones.
Yes. Yeah. If you're really stuck on that stuff, definitely call Renee. He can help you out on that. So all right, start
so that
arrows.
that works the same for the layout, right? Get putting the tools.
It does now in X15.
Yes.
Yeah. The one nice thing about populating the preferences with your company information, it shows up on the plan and the layout. That this, when you open a new layout, unless you had it programmed in to start with, which is what I do. The other thing about names, real quickly, let me mention this under Time Tracker. So when you're in preferences, you go to Time Tracker, make sure you put your name there, so that if you have different people working on plans, when you do a sheet that has the different time that tracks your time on the project, you can sort it by the user, and then you can see how much time each person has spent on the plan.
It's a smart idea.
So
And you can select more than one line there now, and it will give you a subtotal of the.
Yeah, that's really nice. So yeah, I can, go like this and hold my control key down and select individual lines, or hold the shift key down and select the whole group. So, and then it tells you how much time you got selected there. So, and then you can add notes to that selection and click OK. And see, it added a note to all of those. Wow, never done that before. Cool. All right, back to the list.
Facebook user, any chance you can do this real quickly? If you could expand on that, I'd love to know what.
Which one we're talking about?
Facebook user, it says, any chance we can do this real quickly? Not sure what.
Which one you're talking about? Yeah.
Can you explain how the macros in a dropdown are much less than if you link an object properties macro query?
I think, Renee, you could do a whole class on that.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah.
I think we should just do a show just on macros, because I think there's so much to do.
So Renee, can people get to your Discord group through your website?
Yeah, they can. Down at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Go to reneerabbit.net and join Renee's Discord group.
Rabbitdesign.net.
Yep. That's what I said, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And join his Discord. You have macro discussions there, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do.
Check it out. Start and arrows on walls. This is really not a big deal. And most people
but it is
and
helpful.
it isn't.
It is really helpful.
So when you're drawing a wall, notice what is going on there. My screen doesn't freeze. So when I draw that wall, let me zoom in on it and do it. All right. When you draw a wall, notice that arrow. See, on the left side, it's got no arrow. On the right side, it's got an arrow. So that's telling me the start end position, the start end of this wall. Okay. So if you were to go to your preferences and go to edit and turn on show start end indicators, as you get more into Chief, this is a big deal. But see, when I click on the wall, it says S and E. If you have a CAD line, see, it says S and E. That's your start and end. Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
You're frozen right now.
I am.
Uh-huh.
Can't be.
You are.
Cut them off.
Come on, man. Is it working now? Am I zooming in and out?
Nope.
Let me get out of it and come back into it.
Trying to remember if I have mine start any on there. I don't. I need to set that up.
All right, where'd it go here? Get back here.
All right. Looks like you're back now, probably.
Am I back? Am I back?
We're seeing you go through your screen. You're not showing Chief. You're on the other screen.
I should be showing Chief now.
You're not.
Oh, come on. Freaking technology.
This happened to me yesterday. We were doing something and we did a speed check on both our computers and then it came back to full speed again.
Huh.
It's like they were watching us.
So
Yeah, they know you might complain about the internet speed, so they turn it up real quick.
Exactly. They must have some kind of algorithm that checks that or something. I don't know. But it
Hey,
was pretty
Renee.
funny.
I appreciate
Renee,
it.
just in keep your tracking how many people want to be in your class. So
Yeah.
Mike said only 5 people should be in your class, and you already have 3. So
Oh,
you know,
okay.
just keep
It's all
track.
filled up.
Okay.
Get your seat now.
what's going on with my internet testing it? And
Yeah, it didn't work for me either when you told me to do it. I couldn't get the speed test to work.
what the hell?
I don't know where the
Working, but
show's
I
starting and stopping. This show just came to a grinding halt.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, not
Sorry,
for me.
man.
I'm getting a chance to read all the comments and catch up, so it's working.
All right,
Exactly.
cool. Now if I log off, I don't know what to
Throttling.
Shouldn't be.
Do this real quickly. Designer client info. Renee, can you show that real quickly? It's actually really nice for Facebook user. It's part of my process when I open up a layout. When I start a client, I open up a layout and I open up a plan and I fill in the information right away. I put it right into their file and I fill out the client information. But yeah,
So I'll just go over here to tools, down to our designer client information. Okay. That brings up this guy right here. I'm in client information panel right now. If you can see on the left-hand side, I'll be my
While you're
own
typing
client for
that
this.
in,
And
one of
then all of these are simple macros. So for instance, I know I'm not going to use the fax number for anything. So I might
Yeah,
put
no,
in
who even
a
has them?
parcel number here. Right? Something like that. Press OK. And then anywhere you would like.
Oh, sorry. I think I
Oh,
pushed a
you-
button. I pushed a button.
got rid of Renee.
Sorry, Renee.
Anyone,
Renee.
Now we're fighting each other on the buttons. There he is.
you can just by pulling this into, say, a text box, or it could be in a note or anything you'd like that takes any kind of macro input. So we can hit the drop down menu on macro, and then in the global, and under global we have contact info, client, and there's that fax. So now I am calling up that fax macro.
You
So very
froze.
easy
Your
for me
screen, Renee,
No,
your
It's
screen
removing
froze.
me.
I'm pushing stupid buttons that I
Stop
shouldn't
it.
be pushing.
Do that again, Dan. Do that again, Renee.
I didn't do that one.
while you two are thumb wrestling over your screen,
Yeah, John keeps shutting my
I'll
screen
point
off.
out,
It wasn't me. It was not me.
I didn't do it.
I'll point out also
Always stop.
in the discussions, there was a lot of agreement that having multiple fields in there besides designer and client would be really desirable. They took a lot of notice of that. I think they actually took a vote, and every single person in our room said yes. So it's a very easy thing for them to add. Hopefully, we'll see it in the next version.
Yeah.
But it's not something that they presented at us. It's more that we requested it out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got this one. Any ideas on how to copy client info from layout to plan files so I don't have to? Well, you could always send it, but now this system is it goes across layout and plan, so you don't need to copy it. You can just call it up in layout as well. I believe that's the new trick. Is
Once you have the new plan, and layout linked, then can you do that? If the plans are linked, so you create your plan and your layout right away, you put the client information in there, and then you link these two together. And once these two are linked, then you should be able to pull the same information into both.
My default plans, I have a link to a CAD detail that has all my client information. So when I fill this out, it's automatically here. And this little box right here populates with the address, and it always sends to my layout. So as soon as I start a plan, that's already sending to layout. So there's something to consider.
Cool. All right. Let me present again. See if I can get this to work.
My Discord link is at the bottom of the screen on my website. You got to look at the little icon that looks like a game controller that's got a face, because that's Discord's icon.
I think it's
It
working.
is a game controller that has a face. That's what it is.
Not a Kevin bot, huh? All right, so there's your start.
No,
end
it's not a Kevin
indicators.
bot.
Are you guys seeing my screen? Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
are.
now we are.
Yes, we are.
All right, good. So start end indicators come into play when you use resized lines and things like in walls. You want to lock where it resizes from. So I want to resize that wall by locking start, and then I can type in a different wall length. So that's what that is.
There's also settings. There's also settings for the wall, how it builds into another wall, whether you want it to build through the adjoining wall or stop at the wall.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. Where is that? Can you show that?
What do you want? What was that again?
Where the walls join, where they go through or they stop. They go through or stop, because that is an issue, especially when you want to make sure that an end is finished.
Oh, here?
No, when you
No.
bring those two corners together,
These
bring
two
the two
corners.
outside corners.
Right.
You can tell it for the end to draw through, build through the other wall, or stop at the other wall. It's in the wall dialog. Open the wall dialog.
Oh, that one. Where's that?
Is under wall. I do have chief up.
I know I've seen it too.
Yeah, it's
Never known what it did. There it is. Wall intersections under structure. Wall through, wall at start.
Yep.
Through wall
Structure
at
and
end.
its wall intersection. Okay.
Yeah, so if you have, this came up the other day in one of the Facebook groups, is like you had a railing and you didn't want a wall perpendicular to that railing to intercede, you would say that it would be a through wall.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving on here. Store schedules and CAD detail windows. That is one of the things they mentioned. It said, anything you put on your floor plan, schedules and notes and CAD details and all that stuff, it's going to slow your plan down. So that, if it's open, Chief has to deal with it. But if you put all that stuff in CAD detail windows, like your schedules, CAD details, photos, all of that kind of stuff, you're not using resources when those things are closed. So if you got a big plan and you got a ton of stuff all over your plan, put it in the CAD detail window and you should have better results. So that was one thing they mentioned. And I thought that made sense.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you actually taught me how to do that, Dan.
Did
so
I?
I created all my schedules and they're all in separate CAD details
Cool.
in my template.
And the nice thing about that,
It's really nice.
When you use your project browser and you go to CAD details, here's your different schedules that you could have. I don't know if I can rearrange those or not. But you'd also have it under here too. So it's going to add to the list. I have some note schedules on the plan. That's why this list is populated with it. But if you have different schedules, they would be on this list as well. So you'll have both.
Okay,
And then when you send things to layout, that's going to be a lot easier.
So Dan, in my plan, I have saved all my schedules under CAD details. It also shows up under schedules.
Right.
It automatically shows up. Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you put it in your plan, it'll be on both.
Okay.
Well, it'll be on the schedules list, and then whatever you name your CAD detail window. Okay. Well, Michael Pock, look at you. I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing, buddy?
Michael.
Yeah. Kevin, you know Michael. He was at our first event there.
Yes, hi, Michael.
Yeah. Cool.
I think
Nice
I
to
had
see you
hair
guys.
last time I saw you.
You might have. Let's see. Back to Chief. Where was my list? Okay. Keep moving through.
Sorry.
Yeah. Scrolling. Yeah, you're really sorry, aren't you? Scrolling in and out of windows. Okay. What that means is when you're in your library browser and you click on this little icon down here, so you could see items like this, and, they show up like that. Oh, come on. Why is it not going away there? No. Oh, what is going on? My Zoom tool is messing up. Come on, Zoom tool. Oh, I'm on a roll today. I gotta exit my Zoom tool. Yeah, I got it. Anyway, when you click on this spot right here and you hold your control key down, you could zoom in and out of these details and make them bigger and smaller. God, my computer's going nutty. I picked So if I go to a library that has a lot of stuff in it, I can roll back and kind of see more things. So my library is usually open on a different window anyway, so I have a bigger window here to see, but you can, again, hold your control key down to scroll in and out of that. Another use of that control key, I'll add that right now, is when you hold the control key down, you're zooming in and out on the floor plan, you zoom in and out really fast. When you bring up a 3D view and you use your roll, you roll your mouse. If you hold your control key down, you roll slower. So that control key does a lot of things when you're rolling in and out with your mouse. So Chief has done that, and that's pretty cool.
That's
all
cool.
right. But I didn't even ever think to use it in the library browser. And I do love the new library browser. It's really cool. Better searches in library. This is a Renee specialty. He knows all about these kinds of things. The Boolean keywords, not, and, or. Okay. You can also use exclamation, plus, and line. This is directly from Chief's help menu.
What's the line?
That does the same thing as
Not or. Okay.
Yeah, these three symbols do the same thing as these words.
Okay.
At least that's what I figured out.
Nice.
So when you're looking for something like a toilet,
Not round.
toilet
Not round.
plus,
Toilet, not Kohler.
toilet plus, you want just Kohler. So you put plus Kohler, and that'll give you all the Kohler toilets in the library. If you want to not be, you go
Exclamation.
exclamation, and that will put, or type the word not in capital letters with no spaces. Now I got no Kohler toilets.
Could you do it, but the tag has to be there if it's round bowl. Could you do 3 controls? Can you say not Kohler plus round?
Good question.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you got round bowl toilets, and they're not Kohler.
Huh.
Oh, that's
How about
sweet.
that? Look at that. So that's really nice. And I know, Renee, you've had a lot of input with Chief about getting this kind of functionality in the library, and it works really nice. So
Yeah, we sincerely appreciate that.
yes, good job. keep on those guys. And I know they sent you a big check for all your advice. So
Yeah, don't you start with me.
yeah, just like the big check.
I'm with
I
you,
always
Mike,
get.
about the toilets.
Yep.
I'm about, but I just have a client right now who actually specified that she wanted round bowl toilets. It's like, that is the weirdest thing, but whatever.
She's also a female. Males tend to not like round bowl toilets.
As a woman, I prefer an elongated bowl. So, I mean,
All right.
just putting it out there.
The next thing, sitting next to Renee at the event, and I got to watch him use his tags. I'd not been using tags at all. I need to get into those. So what that means is whenever you see something in a library and you like it and you want to use it over and over again, you can tag it. So if this is the dishwasher you use all the time, you could make a tag. So you could manage tags. You could call it a favorite, so that would come up all the time. Or you could create a tag and call it your dishwasher. So I would just
And you don't have to save it to your library. You don't have to save it to your user library first.
Not
Okay.
to tag it. Okay.
Okay.
So, where'd my tag go? Let me do that again. PW, and did I tags for dishwasher? Okay. What did I do wrong here? Tags, manage tags. How come I didn't get? Oh, I got to hit plus. Hit the plus sign. Then you can add a tag. So you can create a whole list of tags. Renee, you have about 20, 30 tags in your list.
I can show. Can I show my tags?
Yeah, let me just finish this, and then you can show yours real quick. So anytime I want that dishwasher now, all I have to do is go find that tag, and so you would have you got to click the gear icon down here. Okay, so click the gear icon and open up your tags. Make sure that's turned on. So then when if I have 10 different dishwashers, I just hit the dishwasher tag and they're all there. If I want these shelves, that would show all my shelves. I must have not saved it. You got to be careful that you don't have them all on up here. So I has a couple shelves I saved. So it becomes your new way to search for things with tag. Go ahead, Renee, show what you got there.
I use what I'm calling stacked tags. So I'm using kind of generic tags here. And so easy one for me to show is if I hit wall, exterior, and material, that's going to get me very quickly. Oh, and not toilet color. This is going to get me specifically any kind of exterior material finishes. Now, if I take off exterior material and I leave wall in place, and instead I go to something like light.
Can you do cabinets? Oh, light. Okay, then you're
Now
gonna
it's
get wall
giving
sconces.
me lights that are mounted to walls. So this is how I set my tag system up, is so that I can kind of generically punch through here. Yeah, I mean, I've got in here cabinets, tables.
What's with all the rabbit heads?
Who kicked Renee off?
Not me.
Bye, Renee.
Like, we got internet ghosts bugging us today.
I think it's because of the writer's strike.
Could be.
Okay, that works.
Let's see, what other conspiracy theories could we come up with here? Well, hopefully he'll be right back. All right, let's continue. We got just a few more things. I've got 50 items on my list. We'll be back next time doing the same thing, okay? Because we're not going to get through very much of this. Add a clickable URL in notes for your library items. So again,
You're not showing your screen, Dan.
okay.
That's clickable. That's clickable on a PDF.
Yes.
Yes. Now, again, back to tags again. Start using tags. I didn't really know how they work, but after watching Renee, I'm going, oh, cool, I can do that. Both John and I have this. We have these conversations about all the time about how horrible we are at saving things to our libraries, so we can use them over and over again.
Hi, Renee.
I might be able to figure out tags. Hi, Renee.
You know,
we didn't do that. I swear.
it was the ghost. Ethan sent me a set of plans so I could review them, and as a PDF. And on the first page, he had he had a URL click to the 3D viewer, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was very cool. I really like that. So thank you, Ethan.
Okay, back to, we're going to cover a few more things. And Renee, I was just
here, I'll answer this question. I have all my tags as dot tag. That's because you can quickly type in your browser dot, whatever your tag is, and hit enter, and it's going to enable that tag. So even if it's a generic, otherwise, if you're using generic tag term names, that might be in other searches. That doesn't work. So if you put something,
so you put a period. You don't put the word dot. You put a period before the word
period tag, right? So you could just type that out, hit enter, and it's going to enable that tag real quick.
Cool. Got it. Like it. Okay, a couple more things, and we'll have to call it a day. But I think we're going to do next Friday again. This is the second Friday of the month, but we were gone last Friday, so we're doing that, and then we'll do next Friday. We'll pick up on the same topic, see if we can't get through more of our list. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is adding clickable URL in notes for library items. And what that means is it's kind of a, it'd be cool if we could have, if we could just click on the item and go to the URL. I don't think that's going to happen. But when you put something in your plan, and I can use my new Alt middle wheel to do this. I like this. This is down the list of ways, but you don't have to go click that button. You can be in any mode, Alt control wheel, Alt center wheel, not control, Alt center wheel. Okay, where is that thing I had in my plan? I had, I think it was a favorite. It was a shelf. Let me get rid of these things up here. It was a shelf. And I put a URL right here. Okay.
Oh my God.
So if you have an item in your user library and you want to just always have access to go to the website for that item, just click on it and bam, you're right there. You sign up for classes. So that's kind of cool. And then the other thing we'll talk about next time is if you use an URL on your schedule. So if I were to put this in my plan and I typed in under like components, under object information, let's say I put a URL under comment. Okay, so I put so I put that URL there. When I print that schedule, that will be a clickable link.
Yeah. You know what? I would say to you, be careful of that one, because sometimes if you don't make sure that you've confirmed, like kitchen and bath designer, right? If a client happens to change an appliance and you're not totally aware of it, you're sending specs for an appliance that they're not using.
Right.
So you have to really be careful if if the client said this is what you're using and they make a change and you're not catching that, that can be a problem later. And then you're going to be responsible. And I don't want to buy somebody's refrigerator panel. So be really aware of that one if you do that.
Yeah, understandable. That makes good sense. So as with all of your schedules, if you're putting schedules on a plan, they need to be right. So don't just put them there because they're pretty. Make them so that people can use them. I think that goes without saying. All right. Anything you guys want to add? We're going to pick this same topic up again next week and see if we can't get a little bit more down our list. You guys got anything you want to add?
No, I sent you my list, which
we covered a few of those. No, we didn't. We didn't cover.
No, we didn't. You didn't get down to them.
No,
but that's okay.
Kevin's list. We talked about that. So because we showed some of the new features, Kevin.
Before
you got it. In the front down.
Tip at the end here, because this came up in a training I just did. A lot of people don't know that just clicking your right mouse button while you're in the middle of an action with your left mouse button cancels the action.
Nope. No.
Oh, okay.
Escape does as well.
Well, wait, say that again.
If you're clicking your left mouse and dragging or doing some action in Chief, if while you're doing that action, you click on your right mouse button, it cancels the action. So if you start drawing a wall and you decide you don't want the wall, you can click on the right mouse button. It's going to stop that action.
Cool.
Is that the same thing as the space bar? Or is it just the
no, because that's
action?
select objects, I think, by default. No, it's cancel, I think. I'm not sure what it's bound to, but like if you do continuous draw mode and you're drawing a bunch of walls, you can always stop the last segment just by hitting that right mouse button.
Cool. It might be bound to escape because it does the same thing.
All right.
Do you have to have the left mouse key selected at the same time as the right key? So they both, you have to click both of them.
Then.
But when you find yourself dragging something across the room that wasn't what you meant to grab, it's really nice to be able to cancel it. So.
Absolutely. No, it's good.
Right. Cool.
It's
you
the
guys
magic.
Reach out to John if you need help with plans. John, what's your URL?
My URL, imagine-drafting at .com. Imagine-drafting.com.
Kevin, if you need help with your, if you guys out there need help with your business, Kevin Design Build Mentor. Don't type in Kevin, design, just designbuildmentor.com. You could sign up for a free, you got a free calls that you do with people, Kevin?
Yep.
Cool. So check it out. Robin, you're just working at the community college. So if you want to see Robin, you got to go join our community college.
Exactly.
And then, of course, Renee with rabbitdesign.net.
Yeah. And of course, banner set up. So
yes. And then chiefexperts.com. You guys want to join some of our classes. And if you're catching this somehow and you haven't registered for the Designer Show, go to designersshow.com and RSVP so you're on our mailing list, and we'll let you know all the time about these shows. But most of you are probably already on that. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We ran over a little bit. We'll catch you next Friday, third Friday of the month, and we'll continue with the same topic. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.